to the Tina Butty podcast. I'm Erica.
And I'm Dominic.
And today we are going to talk about critters.
Little critters of the UK and the USA. Well, Texas to be specific.
Texas, yeah.
USA is a very big place and the UK isn't, so.
Mm-hmm. And we live in Texas. We live in Austin, actually. So,
we live in Central Texas.
Yeah, so even just saying Texas is really too big because we don't have everything around here that they have, like, in North Texas or maybe in East Texas.
Well, just a quick thing. Prairie dogs.
Yeah.
They're the freaking sweetest little things.
And I was thinking about the wild pigs, too, that they have up in the panhandles.
I don't think I've ever seen one. Like, what? They're kind of like a wild boar.
Remember when... So, up in the panhandle, they have Palagiro Canyon, which is, like, the second largest canyon in the United States after the Grand Canyon. And it's really beautiful. But one time, we were driving through there.
Yeah.
And got pulled over for going too fast. We didn't get a ticket, but basically the cop was just like, you don't want to be driving too fast because if the wild pigs, I guess they call them wild pigs.
Wild pigs, wild hogs, those hogs.
Whatever, yeah.
They come out, they'll smash your car up, man.
Wild boar? I don't know what they call them.
Wild boar, yeah.
But if they run out, it'll be like you can flip your car.
Yeah, because they're so sturdy and it's like hitting a concrete wall.
Well, and they're quite low to the ground, so it's just like, they're sturdy and they're low to the ground. It's just like, boom.
Yeah, and if they just sort of go, yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of like hitting a deer.
Yeah.
Because a deer, you can flip your car.
But that we don't really have down here in Austin, and the prairie dogs we don't have.
Yeah, we have deer though.
Yeah, we have deer. Yeah. But anyway, this podcast was inspired by, if you guys follow us on Instagram, you'll know that we live near a little creek and there's a green belt and there's walking trails. And so we go walking every day.
Every day.
And pretty much every day we see some form of wildlife.
Some critter.
Yeah, some little critter.
Some little critter.
Whatever
comes out to say hello to us.
Yeah. We've had so many comments on Instagram, just like, you guys should start your own nature channel, or it's just like,
should be on National Geographic one. Yeah, it's a National Geographic or whatever it is. Yeah. Discovery Channel.
It's like I really don't need any other nature. I don't need to follow any other nature accounts here on Instagram because you guys have got it covered. Like you're always posting stuff. Yeah. So anyway, we just thought, that's an idea for a podcast because there are a lot of critters.
There's a lot of critters
that exist, particularly in Britain, that don't exist over here. And,
I've got some.
Vice versa.
Yeah.
So, do you want to kind of just start talking a little bit about?
I mean, I just had a little I've done a few lists. I got most of my information from the woodlandtrust.co.uk. So.
Before you get started, another great account to follow on Instagram for like British wildlife is BBC Spring Watch.
BBC Spring Watch, yeah, the BBC Spring Watch. They've got a show on the BBC, obviously, and it's just basically in spring when everything's coming out. Everyone's coming out of hibernation, and it's like, it's cute to see them, and
everybody's having babies, and
stuff starts returning to your gardens. Yeah. Everyone's having babies. It's all cute.
Yeah, all kinds of little bugs.
Yeah,
yeah.
So I've got a list here of like stuff that I got from the Woodland Trust and what we've got, and because there's a lot of like there's still some similar things over here.
Well,
we've got
Yeah.
I mean, the UK. I was reading the bear. We don't have, because I think you asked, do we have bears in the UK?
Yeah.
And they went like extinct in medieval times.
No, the thing about it is, I was just like.
They were
what
hunting.
predators do you have in the UK?
There's not really any predator, like human predators.
Wow. No, but like if you go camping or if you go hiking over here, if you go hiking particularly around here in Texas, you've got to watch out for like rattlesnakes at least.
Yes.
There's gonna be
something
snakes,
dangerous. There's always something dangerous.
And then if you're
in
camping,
Texas.
depending on where you're camping in the United States, you've got large, like, mountain lions or bears.
Because lynxes, I think lynx, puma, mountain lion, they're the same thing. I think they're just called different things. A cougar, maybe. I'm not sure. Someone will have to correct me on that. But lynx are like wild cats. Yeah, they're currently extinct in the UK.
Yeah. But I'm like, what's your main predator in Britain? Fox, I guess.
It's the top of the woodland, because we've got a lot of little like critters and small furry things, and everything's cute, But they're very small. They're not like gonna get us,
Yeah.
They're not gonna come and get us when we're camping, The only thing that possibly could is a fox.
Right, because you guys don't even have, like, wolves or coyotes.
No, I think they were all kind of hunted during medieval times.
Yeah.
And they just went extinct, and everybody was just like, well, actually, it's better for us, because they're not getting our sheep, and they're not getting our chickens.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing now is that you used to have, like, fox hunts.
Right.
In the UK back in the... from the Victorian era to now. Mm-hmm. They stopped that. I think it was the Labour government put an end to that, and there was no fox culling or anything, so now they're kind of coming back. And foxes are now top of the woodland food chain.
Mm. I mean, we have foxes in Texas, but we don't really have any around here.
They're equally at home in our, and we were watching a YouTuber who just recently moved to London. So she was woken in the night by... And I swore it was a woman shouting for help.
Yeah.
And it was just like really loud, and I was freaked out, and I was like, should I call 999?
Yeah.
Or should I didn't know what was going on. And then I put it on like Instagram, and someone said, yeah, it's foxes.
Yeah.
They shriek like that when they're mating.
Yeah, and so she said she Googled the sound that they make to make
like
sure that that's what she heard.
Whoa! It's like a whoa! Like that, know? It's like it's really loud, and it sounds like someone going, whoa, getting attacked. Or
you should
like a woman screaming for help is what it sounds
definitely,
like. Go listen to the sound of a fox.
Yeah, foxes mate. It's their mating.
It's their mating call or when they're mating,
Yeah. So definitely Google that to see what she's talking about and what we're talking about. It's a crazy sound. If you ever watch any like BBC thrillers or dramas or detectives, just anything that's like set at night, particularly,
it's like a shrieking banshee.
You've heard it in the background. Yeah, it's just like a sound in the background. Yeah, so foxes.
Yeah, they're a born survivor with a bushy tail. And they're really cute because I've only ever really seen one like in the wild. It was in a car park actually, because they're now coming back into the urban areas. Urban foxes, they go through your dustbins and everything, looking for food.
So they're kind of like raccoons over here.
They're kind of like raccoons, but they look like dogs from a distance. And I remember I used to work at this grocery store, and I early in the morning, around 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was just getting light. I was out in the car park taking the trolleys, or maybe I was cleaning or something. And I saw the this like dog in the distance.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a bit of a strange dog. And then I saw like two more little dogs.
Yeah.
And it was like at the very end, and they were kind of like going around and around. And I was like, wait a minute, their tails are way too bushy to be a dog. That's a fox.
And long. Yeah.
And it was like a fox mother and her cubs, or I guess they're called cubs.
Yeah,
foxlings, little baby foxes, and they were really sweet because they were just going around going, oh, is there food here? Is there food?
Yeah.
Oh no, and then they saw me coming because I guess I was wearing like a high vis, and they were like, uh-oh, gotta get out of here now.
But the foxes in Britain are so cute. They're like
red,
the cartoon,
the
classic
red
fox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas the ones that we have here, here we do have some red foxes, I think, in America, but in Texas, around these parts, we have more of like the gray foxes, and they look more like a coyote or something. I mean, they're shaped like a fox with the long bushy tail and everything, but the coloring is much more like a coyote.
I mean, they'll eat anything. Foxes will. Birds, beetles, rabbits, and rats.
Yeah.
So pretty much that's the main predator.
But they're not going to attack you if you're
They're
out,
not going to attack you, no. I mean,
What about, like, do they go in packs?
I think
Are they like in packs like wolves?
I guess they can, but I think they're mainly solitary.
So they haven't started attacking people yet.
They haven't started attacking people yet. There's been no fox attacks. No movies. The next one is a bank vole. I don't think you have that over here.
I have no idea what that even is.
Stout but speedy, the bank vole skitters around woodland and dense vegetation looking for blackberries.
Yeah.
Kind of like you.
And so what does this look like?
It looks like a small little mouse type
Oh, okay.
thing.
Yeah.
Mouse, kind of like
Like
a
a
hamster.
mole?
A little bit like a mole. Yeah, we have moles. I didn't put that on the list, actually. Blackberries, nuts, and small insects. It uses its large ears to listen out for its many predators, such as the fox and the kestrel.
Oh my god.
Kestrel is a bird.
Yeah.
It's like our bird of prey.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, we've got many birds of prey, actually. We've even got buzzards, I think, now.
Yeah. We've even got buzzards now.
Yeah, I mean, buzzards come and, but no, I haven't seen them as much as I have over here.
Vultures,
yeah.
Yeah,
Vultures.
yeah, around here we have a load of
But yeah,
vultures.
we have like owls, kestrels, they're birds of prey. They'll get to anything before a vulture has time to. I think.
Yeah.
So you don't really see. I never personally.
Yeah.
But I did see kestrels and I did see owls and stuff.
I mean, we don't have voles, but we do have like mice, obviously, like little field mice.
Oh, there's tons of them in the UK. Tons of little field
Funnily
mouses.
enough, I've only
The hazel dormouse is really sweet.
The whole time we've lived around here, I've only ever seen like one little field mouse, and he was very much like a cartoon, like a Cinderella, little fat with the long tail, and just like short and small and cute, like so super cute. But just once, yeah. I think there's too many stray cats around here.
The wood mouse. I haven't got that on here actually, but the wood mouse. I looked that up, and it's the classic mouse. It's a classic little mouse, and you never see it. Yeah. Because it's all like, it's too afraid of anything. Yeah. The hazel dormouse, though, is like a big, fat, fluffy mouse that kind of like rolls into a little ball and is asleep all the time.
My god.
He's like that freaking little. He's like a cartoon mouse to me. There's several types of cartoon mouse that I think of when I think of it. Pine martins, you don't really have them over here, do you?
No, I don't think
They look a little bit like...
We definitely don't around here, anyway.
Shy, curious, and playful, the pine marten is a stealthy, acrobatic hunter that relies on the cover of woods and trees for its foraging missions. It's critically endangered in England and Wales as much of its woodland habitat has been lost. Yeah.
So what do they look like?
They look like, what would they closely look like? Kind of like an otter.
Like a little otter, right?
Like a little otter or a weasel. An otter mixed with a weasel.
Oh, no. That doesn't sound cute. No, they are very cute. I remember seeing them on a nature program that we were watching. But, yeah, I think they look more like, kind of like an otter, but with a longer body, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they're super, super cute. Are they considered rodents? What are they considered?
Mammals.
They're
just like, they're in the mammals section. Oh, yeah, I guess mice are considered mammals.
Yeah, they're kind of like they're weird, aren't they?
They're kind of like a weasel, but yeah.
Like a fox, like a ferret, like a
ferret. Yeah, like a ferret.
But cuter.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my god, they're so cute. Yeah, no, we definitely do not have.
Yeah.
I would say that we don't even have those anywhere in the United States.
Yeah.
I don't recognize.
I think they're kind of like a thing for the thing that's native to the UK.
Yeah.
Look at him there.
Yeah.
He's really cute. The next one is red squirrels.
Yeah.
Now, those are kind of slowly dying out in the UK. And they're native to Britain, red squirrels. However, they have been significantly affected by the introduction of the grey squirrel. And
yeah, I remember the first time
there's only currently around 140,000 of them left.
Oh, no.
And there's 2.5 million grey squirrels, so...
Yeah. But it's just, yeah.
It's just because the grey squirrel is more rabid, I guess.
Yeah.
But there are some red squirrels out there, because I remember Bill Oddie, who's our bird watching guy, and big mate of Alan Partridge.
Yeah.
He, he went and found some red squirrel. He was like, it's red squirrels. You know, you got to find them, and you know it's quite rare to spot them in the UK.
I remember my first trip to Britain, and we were in London, and we were walking through Hyde Park, and that was my first squirrel, I guess. Yeah, and I was just like, they look so different here because I'd never seen a red one like that.
Yeah,
not around Texas. Again, we're talking specifically in Texas because that's the only place I have ever lived. So I can't say whether some of these things exist in other parts of the United States or not. But I had never seen one, and so I took a picture of it. I remember you were like, "You're taking a picture of a squirrel." I was like, "It's a British squirrel." Okay?
I thought I told you to take a picture.
I don't think so.
Oh,
no,
it's just a squirrel.
I took a picture of the squirrel. I took a picture of the birds because it's just like, oh yeah, they're British birds.
I mean, to be fair, we do have a lot of very different birds over here. I mean, that seems to be quite a common difference. But as mammals and stuff like that. I mean, it's like you won't have something in one country that you do over here because they've been allowed to flourish over here.
Our niece and nephew have their own Instagram, and they were doing YouTube for a while. They'd made a YouTube video, I think, of feeding squirrels in the park.
Yeah.
And I remember they had a comment on that was, wow, we don't have squirrels here. I don't know where this person was in the world, but I would have thought that squirrels are something that everybody has a version of wherever they are, Yeah, I don't know. So if you're listening and you don't have squirrels where you live, let us know.
Don't have little squirrels that come everywhere.
We definitely...
They're very definitely woodland creatures.
I don't remember when I used to live up in the Texas Panhandle as a little kid. I don't really remember there being squirrels up there. As Dominic mentioned before, we have prairie dogs up there. And they're basically like a squirrel, but without the long bushy tail. I mean, they're essentially the same thing.
Really and they're kind of like no ears.
No, I think they have little ears, but they live in holes in the ground rather than in the trees.
And they just pop up really sweetly, looking around. Oh my god,
they're so cute. But yeah, I can remember when we moved to Austin being fascinated because we had this backyard full of trees and everything. And so there were a billion squirrels in our backyard all the time. And I was just like, wow, just sit and watch the squirrels. I know a lot of people don't like squirrels, though.
There's a lot of gardeners and people who just don't like because squirrels tear your lawn up. They tear everything up.
Yeah.
They and also bird watchers don't really like them.
Yeah.
Because they put in bird seed out to watch their birds and get them, and of course squirrels get up them and start eating the thing and scaring the birds off.
So make the squirrels a little picnic table and make them their own place to eat.
But it's like the squirrels don't care about your picnic table. They will eat anything that's out there. Oh, you've got some seed over there? Thank you.
They don't. Yeah, and they'll create nests in your chimney and in your attic
and stuff, and they climb up. I've seen them.
I still like them. Okay, they're cute.
They're cute, yes, but when they start tearing up your trees, those poor trees. Remember?
Yeah. So I see the next one you have on your list is a snake, which we do have plenty of in Texas, but not this particular species.
I think it's also called a viper. It's the only venomous snake in the UK.
It is venomous.
Yes,
then.
It's venomous. Yeah. Many are wondering if reptiles are found in England. Yes, there are reptilian animals here. This is from Woodland Trust. Including snakes, the adder. The adder. Yeah. The only venomous native snake in the UK is found on English soil because and I've seen one.
Yeah.
And they usually hang out near where there's a lot of vegetation, and a river nearby.
Yeah.
And yes, they are venomous. They're dangerous. They call them the viper as well. That's it's a viper.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's an adder over there. But I don't think you have adders here, considering all the snakes you've got.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe it hasn't been introduced over here. It won't be. I don't know, so.
If you guys, again, follow us on Instagram. If you don't follow us on Instagram, what are you doing with your life, honestly?
Yeah, you are missing out.
The other night, Dominic had gone to get food, and he came home with the food, and there was a huge snake in the road.
Oh, yeah.
And he came in and he's like, there's a huge snake outside. Come out here and look at it.
It was pretty big in the headlights, I've got to say. And I was just like, oh, that's a pretty big snake. And it was heading towards our, yard area.
Yeah.
And, we just went and... I went in and told you. And
yeah. It was probably about 5 feet long.
5 foot, yeah.
It wasn't actually that big.
It was kind of like... It was in a classic S shape when it was moving, because it was just... Yeah, I thought he looked really sweet with his little head.
We were just kind of gently,
he was just on his... You were just gently kind of ushering it back to the creek, you know.
Which I'm sure is where
but
it was
went under
going
someone's
anyway.
Car, and it's just like, he wanted to get away.
Basically,
he was very scared.
Basically, it was a huge bull snake, which are not venomous. They will bite you if
you
mess with them.
Annoy them. Yeah, I mean, but
just
really
they're just scared.
They're scared because just like, oh no.
But some
he was just kind of. It was cute because you could just see him coming, and then he was coming towards the curb of the street, and then his head just lifted up. He was like, what's over this way? It's very sweet. Maybe I'll go this way.
Yes. Yeah. So if
he doesn't know. He's just coming in to find something to eat.
So if you follow us on Instagram, you'll have seen the video of that. He looked much smaller in the video than he actually was in real life. But when Dominic first moved here and we went for a walk down by the creek, we heard a rustling in the
a rustling and snuffling
in the vegetation alongside the edge of the creek.
It was very much like we disturbed it.
Yeah.
Because we're walking down there, and we were almost right upon it, and then all we heard was, I remember I can clearly remember that sound. I was like, it was like a bot.
What would that have been, though?
I guess him getting freaked out, just jumping like you go, ah! If someone comes, But he kind of jumped and he went, doom, like that,
Yeah.
And then I was just like, what was that? And then we just saw a section of its body just kind of slowly moving into the water or the hole.
Into a hole in the ground.
It was like a hole in the ground, and it was just going on forever, and it was huge. It was really thick.
It was probably as thick as my wrist, right?
As my wrist, I think, yeah.
Yeah, it was, his body was really thick. We never saw his beginning or his end because he must have been in the tall grasses there. But we just saw his section just continually going down into this hole.
We disturbed his slumber.
We were just like, oh my god, that was definitely the biggest snake I've ever seen. But yeah, adders.
Adders,
I don't.
Especially the black adder.
Yeah.
They inhabit woodland edges and open countryside. Adders are more common in the south than in the north. Best time to see them is after their hibernation period, which is in spring. So spring watch,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The next one is hedgehogs, the most beloved creature of the UK. You don't have anything like that over here.
No.
They're way too small. I mean, they're way too small to survive over here.
What are they? They're kind of like a porcupine?
They're kind of like a porcupine, but I think even sharper because they can roll themselves into a ball, and it's about the size of a softball. We have armadillos. Threatened by predators, so because I think I've seen video of a fox trying to get one.
Oh yeah,
and it's just knocking it with its nose and going, oh, because it's all spiky, and the hedgehog's just rolling around like,
yeah,
oh, you're gonna get me.
They look really cute, but you and I've never seen one when we've been out walking.
They're nocturnal. They're pretty nocturnal, and it's like. They're kind of like the roadkill you'll see. I'm always saying, I really want to see an armadillo, but I'm always just seeing what's left of an armadillo after a car's had a go at it, you know? And it's just like, I want to see a live little armadillo just walking around, being all cute, but they must be nocturnal.
Yeah. So in Texas,
I've got to go out in the dark.
So in Texas, we have armadillos, which, are not spiky or anything like hedgehogs. They actually have sort of a shell almost. it's like a rough kind of scaly shell.
Yeah.
But they also will roll themselves into a ball to protect themselves. And, but...
And they just get rolled around by, like, coyotes or whatever, are trying to eat them.
But like Dominic says, we've never... Because they come out, I guess, during the night, and we've just never... seen one live. I have seen one in person, but he's only ever seen them dead on the side of the road, unfortunately.
But yeah, hedgehogs.
But yeah, I want to see a little hedgehog. They look so cute. And it always just reminds me of that episode of One Foot in the Grave, though, where he puts his foot in a hedgehog on the lawn when he's taking the trash out or something. God. That's just horrendous. And I don't like to think of them like that. We won't expand. It's a terrible... It's
not, I mean, go watch One Foot in the Grave. It's really,
One
really
Foot in
funny.
the Grave is hilarious.
Hilarious, yeah. But yeah, there was a lot of, like, stuff that got complaints. They'll roll into a ball as big as a softball when threatened by predators. They mainly feed on insects, but may occasionally eat mice, worms, fruits, and small snakes.
So they're cute.
They're really cute. Just like, yum, yum, yum. Very delicious. Grey seals. I mean, Central Texas.
This is gonna be where in Britain? All around the coast of Britain, or specifically like way north, like up in Scotland? Or
one of the marine mammals found in England is the grey seal.
Oh, so in England.
Compared to their cousins, the harbour seal, which they're usually larger and heavier. One of the features which distinguishes grey seals from the common seals is their nose, which is a prominent bridge, also called Roman or aquiline nose. So they've got a Roman nose. Moreover, their nostrils appear as parallel slits, while those of the common seals form a V shape. Their bodies are coloured grey with prominent dark spots. So they must come into maybe deep rivers, I'd imagine. You can see them out on a deep river, because there's a lot. I mean, England, the UK, Britain, the island of Britain.
I feel like I've seen...
It's dissected by rivers and everything, and of course it's an island.
I feel like I've seen... I mean, I wouldn't think that they would come up rivers, but usually they don't. I feel like I've seen some vloggers footage of traveling around Britain and finding a beach somewhere and going, there's all these seals.
It is easier to spot these blubbery creatures during the pupping season in autumn. During this time, seals haul out to give birth and bask on sandy or rocky beaches with their pups.
Yeah.
From September to January. Yeah, and harbour seals up in Ullapool, in Ullapool Harbour, you'll see harbour seals all the time. They just come in, they're just like, hello.
Oh my God, that's so cute. Yeah, I mean, we definitely have seals in certain parts of America, but not in Texas. In Texas, the only down when I've been in the water in the coast off the coast of Texas, I've seen dolphins.
There's apparently dolphins and whales around the shores of Britain. You know? I mean, that beluga whale which got trapped in the Thames.
Oh, no.
He came up the Thames and he was just kind of like, I don't know where I am.
What was going on? Yeah, poor thing.
He was just kind of going around and people were like, okay, we need to kind of form a barrier.
Yeah.
And get him out into the estuary. And I think they did, after a while, because he was just taking up residence and it was like, yeah, boats are going up and down here. We need to get him back out into open water.
Yeah.
But yeah, he didn't know where he was and didn't know where he'd come from, and he was very confused. Another one is otters.
I love otters.
These brown-coloured semi-aquatic mammals live in freshwater habitats. Male otters are called dogs, and females are referred to as bitches.
Oh no.
They communicated with each other using high-pitched sounds. Moreover, they make a loud, angry chatter when they feel threatened.
Apparently, we have otters here in Central Texas, or at least in the Texas Hill Country, but I've never seen them.
Oh my God.
But I've seen them in nature programs, and they are the absolute cutest, and I would have a little pet otter in a heartbeat because they're just so stinking sweet. There's almost no cuter little animal. They're just
because they lie on their back and go, they look like they're plotting evilly.
Their little faces are just so cute. You just want to kiss them all up. They're so cute. We're animal people, guys.
Yes.
In case you haven't noticed.
Yes. And I know if you saw that picture of that hazel dormouse, I'll find it in a minute. You'll just want to go.
Yeah.
And of course, last on this list is badgers.
Badgers. Yeah.
Yes, the badgers. You don't have them over here. They're sort of look a bit like a skunk, but they do not have the spray.
Are they sort of like a possum too?
Yes, sort of. Their characteristic black and white striped face, grey fur and short furry tail. The badger looks like no other UK mammal. Stocky, powerfully built creatures, they typically weigh 10 to 12 kilograms, with a body length of about 90 centimeters. This makes them the biggest land predator in the UK. So yeah, they just eat mice and other things, smaller things,
Yeah.
And they are very nocturnal.
Mm.
It's like if you find a badger hole, you've got to wait until the dead of night till they come out and start.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
that's sort of like raccoons. Like, if you see a badger out during the day, then does that mean they have something wrong?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, if you see a badger out in the day, then yeah, they might have TB. They used to carry tuberculosis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was TB. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Oh, because you guys don't have rabies in Britain either, do you?
I think we managed to get rid of it.
What?
I think you managed to eradicate it completely.
That is the craziest thing. Yeah, I remember hearing about that somewhere, or we read it, or we saw it on some television show or something. But yeah, that just seems like how do you know that that none of your animals have rabies? Like, how is that even possible?
Yeah, according to the gov.uk, rabies does not circulate in either the wild or domestic animals in the UK, although some species of bats can carry a rabies-like virus. Human rabies is extremely rare in the UK. No human cases of rabies acquired in the UK from animals other than bats have been reported since 1902.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's the strict quarantine procedures on pets.
Yeah.
Because we were watching that Heathrow program where that American woman was freaking out because they wouldn't let her cats come in.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they've really got to be checked out before they come in here because they carry stuff.
I mean, we have a big bat population around Austin, and rabies is just a thing.
Yes, there's a rabies-like virus in bats in the UK, but it's extremely rare. I mean, bats don't really get humans.
Yeah.
I mean, the disease was subsequently eradicated and Britain was declared rabies-free in 1922.
Oh my god, that is so weird and crazy. Yeah, after the introduction of compulsory quarantine for dogs.
Yeah, because dogs were the ones who carried it more often,
Yeah.
Slobbery and...
I mean, raccoons can have it. They always say if you see a raccoon out during the day that he's rabid, and to stay away from him or, call animal control or whatever. But yeah, so living around here, around this creek, we have raccoons, we have possums, we have armadillos, we have skunks, which we learned in Outlander, or I did anyway. There's an episode of Outlander where they get to America and
he takes a dog out.
Young Ian has a dog. Yeah, he's gotten the dog since he's been in America. I think I can't remember exactly where he got it, but he's running with the dog and he's like, oh, and everybody's like, what is that smell?
Oh, yeah.
And he's just like, oh, he was chasing some creature and he sprayed something
from his arse.
Yeah.
From his arse.
Foul smelling liquid from his arse.
Like a badger or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just thought that was so hilarious because you guys don't have skunks in Britain, apparently.
Nope. Do you think we've already got some skunks in friggin'...
I had never ever seen a skunk in person until, I don't know, probably last year, around the fall or something, and we were out walking. and we have these baseball and softball and soccer fields and things around our house. And so we were walking by those, and we could see these little, it was just about almost dark, right?
Yeah.
And we could see these little like animals running around on the field, and we were like, oh,
my God,
are they squirrels? What are they? You know?
Yeah, they were black.
Yeah, and we walked closer, and it was
I
just...
saw the tail, and I saw the little tail, and it was just white striped, and I was like, oh my God, it's Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah, it was
Pepe
just
Le Pew.
it was just a bunch of little skunks just like chasing each other around and digging in the grass on the fields and everything. And so that was my first time seeing skunks in the wild, but we kept a distance. Because, yeah.
Oh, God.
Apparently they're super curious, and they were kind of
They were coming out. No, because one of them stood up and was looking directly at us and then was like, oh, what are you?
Yeah.
Let me go see.
Yeah, we were like, okay, never mind.
No.
But instead of us just continuing on, do check out our Instagram, and you'll see stories all the time of our animal adventures. We are at Butty, TeaButty. But yeah, other than that, I think that pretty much wraps it up.
Just in time for the storm.
Just in time for the storm. Yeah, we've been
storming here.
Stormy weather.
They call it Stormy Thursday. But Lord, Friday's just as bad.
Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning into our podcasts to listen. Without you guys, we'd just be here talking to ourselves.
Yes.
So thanks, and we'll talk to you next time.
Goodbye.